Hey guys, Terminator here. Unfortunately, I just didn't feel up to making an entire build video for this computer. You know, it was too much of a pain to get my iPhone to work with a tripod, and I couldn't even get a good angle to begin with. And I had a few problems along the way in the build that took longer than they should have. So I went ahead and just built it off camera, but it's finished now, and I thought I'd give you guys a look here, especially for anybody who's thinking about buying this case. Because it's a really cool case. If there was a way to turn the light on this. I guess not. There used to be. So let me go ahead and just do an overview of the case first. This is the CoolerMaster. It's the Model XB, I think is the full model name, but it's basically a test bench slash LAN party style box. I don't really care about either of those things. I just wanted a computer. I just wanted a case that could fit a full ATX motherboard and still sit on my desk without, towering up, 4 feet. So this is what I found. It just came out recently, actually. I had a bit of trouble finding it for a reasonable price because Newegg was out of stock, and so was Amazon. So I ended up ordering it from some other place that took a while to get here, but it's finally here. So basically, the top slides off. It's got this raised piece here to support the taller CPU coolers. They're also going to release a top piece and side pieces that have windows in them later on, I believe, that you can buy separately from the case. Each side slides off. It's got a strong reinforced handle on either side and venting. The handles are to carry because, like I said, it's meant to be for LAN parties, so it's portable. On the front, you have a vent right here with a removable dust cover on it. It's got two 120 or 140, whichever you want. It's got two fan mounts on either side. It's got two 5.25 bays for your optical drives or whatever else you want to stick in there. Power button is here. It does illuminate red, but I did not connect the power LED because it drives me crazy at night. Here's the hard drive LED. It's kind of a dim horizontal light. Let me get up closer to that. Yeah, well, whatever. It's got two USB 3.0 ports on the front. It's got a headphone jack and a mic jack. And then it's got two, these are called X bays, and basically what they are is they're hot swap bays. I'm not going to demonstrate them because I have hard drives in them right now, and that will disconnect them. But basically what that allows you to do is if you go into disk management and turn the drive, make it offline, you can pull the drive out and do something else with it or put a different one in and then make the drive online again, and it should hot swap without you rebooting your computer. It's worked fine for me. It's a bit hit or miss. It really depends on you doing the correct things in Windows before pulling the drive out. But speaking of those bays, those are the only 3.5-inch hard drive bays on this case, which I saw as a major downside. But, whatever. You can put 2.5-inch drives in here if you want. They both work, but these are the only 3.5 compatible drive slots. I did consider buying a 5.25 to 3.5 bay converter, so I could put a hard drive here, but I decided I'd just get a second terabyte and put it over there, so that's fine. Let me show you guys the back. Okay, so on the back you've got all your PCI slots right here. You've got another spot for 120 or 140 millimeter fan. I believe it works with both. Your I/O opening is down here, and then your power supply, if you have a full-size power supply, it'll stick out about 3/4 of an inch. And then down here you have, optionally, you can stick two 80 millimeter fans. And on the top, I forgot to mention, you can optionally put a let's see, what is it, a 240 millimeter or 180 millimeter? Basically the biggest fan. Oh shit, what's the size? I'll put it in the video description. I'll look it up. Okay, so let's get this thing open. There's thumb screws for everything on this case. So let me take the thumb screws off on the back. There's one. There's two. Just slides back and then comes off. Over here. Okay. Man, I really wish the light on this was working. I'm going to pause the video and get a light and then come back. Okay, apparently you can't turn the light on and off while you're recording a video on the iPhone anymore. That's weird. Okay. So, like I said, this case supports a full ATX size motherboard, which is awesome. It also supports mini ATX and mini ITX, so whatever you want to do. There's those fans mounts I was talking about. Let's take the sides off. Top, they slide a little bit and then they pop right off. Okay, so it's basically a two-story case in here. You've got the motherboard mount right here, okay, and everything sits on top of that, and then under that first floor you have the power supply back there. You have a 5 slot 2.5 inch bay. And over here you have your two 5.25 inch bays. And let's go to the other side. Take the screws off. Hopefully they're loose. Yeah. Okay. Okay. Here's the other side. Get a good view there. My desk is kind of a mess. Alright. So there's the 5.2. These are the 3.5 or 2.5 X bays right here. Here's the power supply again. Yeah, that's basically all there is to show as far as the case. Let's go into what hardware I've got in here. So I decided to do an Intel build this time. And gotta say, so far I'm really glad I decided to do that. It did cost me about $350 more overall than my last build did. My last build cost me about $720-ish. This cost me about $1,100 after tax and minimal shipping charges. So let's see, I have a Gigabyte Z77 dual Thunderbolt motherboard. The model number is GA-Z77X-UP4-TH. Of course, it's the Z77 series, which means you have full control over the CPU and onboard graphics capability. The BIOS on this is definitely kind of shitty. I mean, it has all the features that I've needed so far, but it's kind of laggy because it has mouse support, and the mouse support is kind of laggy, and the overall UI is just difficult to use, but it gets the job done. The last board I had was a Sabertooth 990FX, and the UEFI BIOS in that was much nicer to use and not laggy at all. So Gigabyte needs to work on that. Maybe there's a BIOS update. I'm using the BIOS that came on it right now. Maybe there's an update. Anyway, so that's the motherboard. It's got 6 SATA connectors, 4 of which are 6 GB and 2 of which are 3 GB, I think. 3 GB a second. Over here I've got 16 GB of RAM. I've got 2 4 gig sticks of Mushkin Enhanced Silverline and 2 G.SKILL Ripjaw 4 GB, all 1600 megahertz. Right here, obviously, I've got the HyperMaster 212, is it Plus? I think it's Plus, CPU cooler. that ran me like 25 bucks. That was cheap. I'm probably going to end up replacing this fan with a Noctua fan because it did come with clips so that it's removable and you can put the clips on a different fan. So I'll probably do that just to make things quieter. The CPU I got is an Intel Core i5-3570K quad-core processor. It's 3.4 gigahertz by default, but obviously that can be overclocked to 4.0 quite easily. I'll probably be doing that later on. And then right here, if you didn't already read it, I've got the GeForce 660 Ti. It's the superclocked edition with 3 gigabytes of RAM. It's the EVGA version of that. On the back it has 2 DVI outputs, an HDMI output, and a DisplayPort output. And I guess, you know, PCI, like legacy PCI slots are getting phased out because, you know, none of the boards I could find had a decent selection of PCI slots. This one only has one. So I guess I'm going to need to start using PCI Express cards. I'm going to have to sell this. That's my M-Audio sound card. Let's see, what else is there? These, oh, on the front, I'm sure you can already tell, but those are Noctua fans. They're the let's see, what are they? The NF-P12 120mm fans with the ultra silent 900 RPM blue connectors. Right there, you can see them. That keeps this thing pretty damn quiet. I mean, I'm just going to stick the phone in there and not talk, and you can hear, hopefully, how loud or how quiet it is. So, I don't know, it might sound louder on the phone than it actually is, but whatever. I'm not going to do it because it requires 2 hands and a bit of elbow grease, but this front case cover also comes off, and you actually need to pull it off to install the fans, and it's also how you remove the dust cover for the front port. Is there anything else to talk about? I don't think so. Oh. Down here I've got a Crucial M4 256GB SSD that I picked up on Amazon for 180 bucks. And in these slots on the front I've got 2 3.5-inch 1 terabyte 7200 RPM drives. One's a Seagate Barracuda, or no, one's a Samsung Spin Point and the other one's a Western Digital Blue, I think. So yeah, let me go ahead and show you guys what kind of performance I'm getting so far out of this. I think I need to change out my thermal paste. I think the thermal paste I use might be too old because I'm idling at about 36C, but it seems to be okay so far. I haven't had any overheating or blue screens. So first let's start with Far Cry 3. I'm going to pause the camera again so I can turn off the light. There we go. Okay. So I'm using DX3, I think that's how you pronounce it, to measure FPS. Okay, let's just go right into story mode. I don't have a tripod for my iPhone, so I'm going to be playing with one hand here, but alright, let me go ahead and exit the house.
Now, tell me about your friend. The radio said boss was
recording ransom videos on PC. I'm on the max settings for this game. 1920 by 1080. Let me focus. Come on. Okay, windowed mode. Okay, VSync is off. GPU max buffered frames. I'm not really sure where that should be, so I just left it at the default. DirectX 11, 8 times anti-aliasing, whatever all that is, and then video quality. Come on, is optimal, which is the same as ultra because it automatically determine everything to be max, high, high, ultra, 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 very high, high, very high, high. Those are all the maximums for those settings. So let's go back to get a game. And as you can see, let's laptop, I'm getting a nice solid 64 FPS right now. In some places I get as high as 90 to 100, and it's never dropped below like 56, and I don't get any drops at all, no matter what I do. So, it's perfect for compared to what I used to have. Okay, so it's Far Cry 3. I'm gonna do Arma 2 and Hitman Absolution. So overall, I'm really pleased with this computer so far. I haven't had any problems. Okay, video options. So down here you can see it's on very high 1920 by 1080, and the 3D resolution and the interface resolution are the same. And if I click advanced, texture detail I will put on very high. Video memory, I will say, is very high. Anisotropic filtering, very high. Anti-aliasing, very high. Terrain detail, very high. Objects detail, very high. Shadow detail, very high. Post-processing, very high. Interface size, I'll leave that alone because it doesn't matter. Okay, then click OK. Go back, and then I'll just start a single-player scenario. Or, actually, yeah. No, I don't want to do scenario, I'll just do Armory and Chernis. Journal. Okay, I don't care. Oh, I'm gonna tank.
Forward, left, forward.
Shut up.
Fast.
Well, I'm gonna get out of the tank. Eject. Okay. So in the top corner, you can see I'm getting 46 FPS constant, even if I fuck around on the screen. 50 FPS, 53. So, I'm pretty fucking pleased. Alright, let's do Hitman Absolution. Obviously this game isn't out yet, but let's just say I have magical powers. Maybe it is out. No, I think it comes out December 4th. I don't know. Maybe it is out by now. Okay, come on. Why is it showing me as... Okay. Absolution. Options. Graphics. Quality level. Ultra. Shadow quality. Ultra. Texture quality. High. These are all the highest settings. Anisotropic. Whatever the fuck. The filtering is 16. SSAO is high. Global illumination on. Tessellation on. Reflections high. FXAA is on. Level detail ultra. Depth of field high. Okay. And obviously it's on 1920 by 1080. I'll go and continue from where I am in the story on normal difficulty.
Waiting.
Okay, so it's just a cutscene.
For what? Still have a chance.
130 FPS on the cutscene. I don't know if these cutscenes are rendered or not. I'm assuming they are.
Why did you do this?
Do not let her turn into you. Take
Oh, I hate games that don't let you skip cutscenes. It's so annoying.
I cannot be part of this anymore.
Sorry, guys. I guess it has to load. Maybe that was the loading screen. Okay, this is rendered.
And the answer came back in the shape of a name. Blake Dexter. An arms industry VIP who seems to have taken a special interest in your girl. Dexter occupies the terminus's top floor,
I have control
and his
now.
thug has had the place sealed off tight.
46,
Still,
44
a man
FPS,
of your
48.
skills and resources should be able to find several.
I played, I think, the first 3 or 4 missions, and so far there's only been one time where it dropped down to 39 FPS, I think was the lowest. And it was just for a few seconds, and then it went back up. 50 FPS right now. So, yeah. I'm pretty pleased. If anybody has any suggestions for any more improvements that I could make to this for a relatively low amount of money, I'd love to hear it. I'd love to hear your guys' opinion on, you know, the cooler I'm using and everything, and the temperatures I'm currently getting, and you know, what you think of that. Here's the CPU temperatures right here. Playing all those games, the max that ever hit was 39°C. So right now they're all idling in the 30s, one's at 27. So yeah, there's the CPU info. Yeah. Alright guys, well that's my current PC build. See ya.